Hello, everybody. I'm Malones, and welcome to Stranded Alien Dawn, a new colony simulator that's kind of taken everybody kind of by storm a little bit recently. Here, as it is late October 2022. It's being developed by Haemimont Games, which has also produced games like Surviving Mars, the Tropico series, things like that. And one of the ones I'm anxiously awaiting is Jagged Alliance 3. They're also developing, so I'm super excited about that one. It's being published by Frontier Foundry, which, they've produced a lot of really good games, or published, I should say, not produced. But this is the newest colony sim, game that, like I said, is making the rounds, around the internet, interwebs, whatever you want to call them. I can't speak right now. I'm sorry, but yeah. So we're gonna get into this, and we're gonna play a little bit, and see how it runs. I've already obviously played a little bit around, got a little bit of a feel for it. So it's not a complete blind playthrough, but so far so good. I'm gonna go ahead and address the elephant in the room right now. For those of you who have played Rimworld, you're gonna see a lot of similarities. And I'm probably gonna draw a lot of comparisons to it, just because it is so similar to Rimworld, but it's also very different. So basically, as the name suggested, you're stranded on an alien planet and you have to survive, right? So that's the premise. Sounds kind of like Rimworld already, but don't worry, you're going to notice the similarities. They're going to keep coming. So let's just go ahead and get into it. I've already done the tutorial. If this is your first playthrough, I do recommend you doing it, just because it is, going to be helpful for you. And it's a decent little tutorial. I think it's like 4 or 5 scenarios that kind of, go through. Some of them will be, if you're a veteran of the colony sim, genre, you will, get through it very easily. But then there's some stuff that is a little bit different, so I always recommend doing the tutorials no matter what. But I've already done it, so I am not going to do this right now. So we'll just say not now. Now, in scenario crash landing, that sounds familiar. Basically, it says, while en route to the outer worlds, the passenger ship Alien Dawn suffers a catastrophic hyperdrive malfunction and starts breaking apart in orbit of an unknown planet. Sounds familiar, right? Up to 4 passengers reach one of the emergency landing pods. This is the story of their survival. Their mission is to find a way back to civilization. Like I said, anyone who's played Rimworld is going to know this. Right now, this is the only scenario. In the future, I'm assuming there's going to be more. And of course, if this game is like Rimworld and gets opened up to the modding community, the possibilities are in this. But this is the only one we have right now, so we'll take crash landing. Region is Sobrius. Once again, it's the only region we can. It's a temperate mountainous area with large meadows. So hey, you get what you get. We are on the moon of Concordia. I don't know if there's a plan for other moons or something like this, but this is the only one we have right now. So Concordia is the goddess of balance, of holding on and letting go. I didn't know there was a goddess of holding on and letting go, but hey, cool. Concordia it is. So here's your modifiers. You can select your game difficulty. You can go to random, easy, medium, and hard, and it just affects what you start with. Your starting resources, right? So we'll just leave it on medium just because. Seed, let's just put Malones because I'm creative. All right, and then you have game rules. So there's 2 right now. Once again, I don't know if there's any plans for more, but I can't see why not. The first one is overqualified, so all your survivor skills are set to 10, which 10 is the maximum. And there's lost cause, which is the opposite of that, sets all your skills to 0. So we will see. All right, we're just going to leave it as is right now. So with all our settings set up, we'll go and go into our survivor, picking our survivors. So like I said, you can start with 4, and it automatically just like kind of randomly gives you 4. As far as I know, these always stay the same. At least they have in all the playthroughs that I have done. So you kind of, you know, there's going to be a meta. It's not like Rimworld where, you know, your colony or your pawns are randomly generated, and therefore there's, you know, infinite customization, or I should say infinite replayability in that respect. These are all the same guys, and they all have the same traits and the same skills and same relationships and everything like that. So there, like I said, there is going to be a meta of the best people to pick. You know, I know, I will say, read their bios. I'm pointing at the bio right now, like you can see it, but read these bios, because especially the Connor, you know, this guy, he's got a little bit of, you know, stuff that's going wrong with him. Just like, basically, like, he got some sort of implant, and then he started getting headaches. And then he realized the implant's actually like a bomb, and he's only got like a year or two left to live, kind of, you know, situation. So don't just look at their skills and be like, oh, hey, he's got, you know, 6 combat. That's great. I'm gonna take him. Read the bios. I mean, not only is it cool backstory wise, but you know, there's stuff in there, especially at least with Connor. So let's just go ahead and pick. I'm just gonna go ahead and dump everybody. That way we have a fresh go here. So Anita, and once again, like, these are their skills over here, and then they have different traits, and then they even have relationships. Now, obviously, just like in Rimworld, you know, if Annette here, and if I take Annette and Laura, well, you know, that's, you know, mother-daughter. If one of those dies, the other one's not going to be so happy about that, right? So you need to plan carefully if you don't think you can keep people alive very much. But we are just going to look and see. These are the, like I said, the skills. Physical is one that you're probably not familiar with. It's basically, you know, physical ability. It allows you to do such things as scavenging, mining, cutting, that sort of stuff. Or it affects the speed at which you can do that. So obviously your lumberjacks want to have a good physical score and stuff like that. And she's indifferent to physical work, so she doesn't want to do it. She's also indifferent to combat. So probably not the best choice if you're looking for, you know, someone who can defend the colony. But her skills are pretty meager. 3 in cooking. She's interested in it, so that's good. But I don't think so. Let's see, Carter. Once again, you're kind of the same, meager skills. Connor, like I said, he's going to be good in physical and combat. And he shoots twice as fast with ranged weapons. He occasionally intimidates others, making them feel unease. So not only is he going to be able to protect your colony relatively well, he's also going to intimidate the rest of the people around him. And he's got a time bomb in his head. So maybe not the best choice. Let's see, Daniel, he is incapable of combat because he's a pacifist, but he has occasional insights that boost the current research project. He's got a decent intellect, and he's interested in healing, which is never a bad thing. So maybe. By the way, doesn't Connor look like West Chatham from The Expanse? You know, if he, you know, just let himself, well, I wouldn't say let himself go, but if, you know, got like maybe 15 years later and the world turned to shit, like this is West Chatham, you know? All right, so Edmund here. Okay, intellect, not really great at anything else. He rests twice as fast. He gets hungry 25% quicker. Relaxes by writing short stories that inspires others when read. Okay, that's cool. No, probably not. All right, Emmeline. She is a decent cook, and she's interested in it. Exquisite cook. Makes even the simplest dishes taste exquisite. That's cool. Cheerful personality. She has permanently increased happiness. I like that. She's 35. Emmeline's career in the culinary world started with a series of viral videos of her hunting down and cooking rare game. Once she gained popularity, she left the dangers in the hunt to her employees and specialized in preparing the gourmet dishes. Okay, so she's got a little bit of combat skill. I like that. A little bit of farming. Okay. Yeah, let's take Emmeline. Let's see what we can do. And also, these little arrows right here, this denotes like quickly at a glance who has the highest skill, or what the highest skill is in relationship to who you're looking at. So obviously, since she's the only one survivor that I've picked, she is the highest in everything. But you know, double check. All right, Jayla. Jayla is decent physical, and that's about it. She has a split personality. Occasionally switches traits with an alter ego. Okay, that could be interesting. She's permanently increased happiness, and then she makes others happy when playing music. Oh, that's cool. Because one of the things that you can research and then build are a couple of musical instruments. It's like a handpan and a didgeridoo. So she would be able to make others happy while playing. That's cool and useful, but she otherwise is not very useful. She's indifferent to cooking. She's interested in farming, but she's not very good at it. So moving on. All right, Grayson. Grayson is an interested in cooking, okay, intellectual, a little bit of construction. His movement speed is decreased by 25%, 4 times work speed when crafting or constructing stuff with wood. Okay, so he's a carpenter. Okay, but I feel like I could find someone better. Let's do Han. Do cooking, and I don't want to spend, you know, an hour doing this, so I'm gonna glaze over this real quick. Let's do something like that. So we'll go with Ken, Krista, Laura, and Quinn, and those will be our starting ones. So we'll go ahead and keep these 4, and we'll go ahead and start. Have a little bit of an opening cutscene, little opening video, and then we'll be into it. Do that. I'm gonna lower the sound on this just a bit. There we go. All right, so let's see what we got here. So here's our little landing pod. Oh, I thought I paused the game. She hurt? She's not hurt. She has crash shock. She's in a little pain. Let's see her healing. She has a little bit of smoke inhalation. So let's go. All right, so once again, I'm gonna try and explain this, so this video might be a little bit longer. I'm gonna explain as I go. So you click on your colonists, you get all these different tabs, right? So this one is your overview. Tells you activities queued. You can see everything, you know, this is the stuff you need to pay attention to. If she has equipped weapon, it even shows cold and hot tolerances, and then it shows her their two best skills. And then once we start getting opinions of people, they'll be down here. This is the health bar. I like the little you know, paper doll thing that's going on here. So you can see she has some smoke inhalation, and you can definitely see that right there. You can hover over it and say, oh, hey, smoke inhalation. And it's yellow, so, you know, it's not that bad. It tells you their health. They're bleeding. This will, once you start getting into combat and you know, start taking bleeding, they will tell you how much health they lose per hour. Pain, consciousness, movement, all that stuff. These are typical like Rimworld stats. They pretty much all mean the exact same thing. And then any health conditions listed down here. This is the happiness bar. So typical, like I said, Rimworld happiness. But it is broken down into like mental health issues, sort of like troubles, what's troubling them, And then any positive modifiers, any pleasures. It says, they survived the crash, which is great, but now they're determined to survive. So there's that. This is the inventory, what they're wearing, what weapons they're equipped with, and this shows all the different tolerances, cold and heat, and then armor protection and stuff like that. This one here is your skills. So I mean, yeah, it just shows all the skills, right? And you can hover over them and it'll explain what they are, and everything like that. Pretty self-explanatory. This is their profile. This just is the same thing we were looking at earlier, except for now in this one they have favorites. So she loves veggie stew and snowball fights. So great. Once again, her clumsy. She's movement speed decreased by 10%. Won't do any crafting, and she's a genius. And this is our restrictions. This is how you can restrict what they're doing. If you say, like raw food, if you don't want her to eat any raw food, you can just tick that button, or you can click on it, and then anything that you have discovered. I haven't discovered any raw food yet, so I don't have anything there. You can individually tick that off, and it's the same thing with this, everything like that. So, and that's about it. But I'm gonna go ahead and take off raw food for all of these guys real quick, because otherwise they are going to eat raw food and just get themselves sick and start vomiting all over the place. Okay, so map. Now the difference between this and Rimworld is that in order to learn how to make things or what things are useful for, you have to observe it. So for everything, like, so this is blade of grass, you'll get the little observe, and if something's already been observed, this will be grayed out. And once you observe these things, like one of your guys with the research skill will come over and look at it, fiddle around with it, do whatever they do, and then they'll figure out, oh hey, these can be used for this, and you'll unlock other things to build. So that's a good way to start. Obviously this is rock, so you don't have to hey, I gotta study this rock. So first thing we are gonna do, let's set up our schedules and our activities. So like I said, fans of Rimworld will understand this screen very well. It even has the advanced priorities with the numbers, so we can do that. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit this up real quick. Okay, so that's good enough for now, and we'll change this as we go. So let's go back to manage, go to schedule. So right now we're working from 6 o'clock till 8 o'clock at night. Let's change that. So 23 to 05. Yeah, we'll do 9 to 7 for now, and we'll adjust this as we need to. So they'll work, then they'll do a little relaxing, then they'll go to sleep, and then they'll wake up and do whatever they want, and then go to work. So fine, whatever, sounds good. All right, so let's go to the landing pod. Let's start scavenging that. I am gonna queue, and I already know what a lot of these things do, so I need to observe them and get them going so that I can start farming them. And there are a couple things that I need before summer comes around, and I'm looking for it. Where is it? There's got to be some around here. All right, we'll figure out where all that stuff is later. For now, let's go ahead and unpause and at least let them get going. And you have all these different animals too, so like to figure out what they are and what they do, you have to observe them as well. These things like trees are pretty Spartan around here, so I'm going to need to get that going pretty quickly too. Berry plant. All right, well, and I'm going to be doing a lot of observing here in the beginning. Now, while they're off doing that, let's go ahead and set up our camps. So we're going to start with a little scrap metal shelter. And we will do it right here. Hold shift, that way you can place more than one. And the cool thing that I like is that if you put these shelters next to each other, they connect, right? And then you can put some in the back and it'll connect to even a bigger building type. But this is basically just 3 walls and a roof. There's no front. It's not enclosed or anything like that, so your guys are susceptible to the elements, so you definitely want to get out of these shelters before winter, otherwise your guys are going to freeze. All right, the other thing we need to do is put some sleeping spots down. Now the bad thing about this is that they are totally going to wake each other up at night. There's nothing I can do. New resource, synthetic tiles. Cool. So we found some synthetic tiles while scavenging, and now we have those resources. Oh, okay. We have a laser pistol. We'll have Ken, since he's our psychopath, with that once he's done. And just like in Rimworld, if somebody's doing a task, you can right click on everything and tell them to do something, but if you hold shift before you click, like it says down here in the bottom, you can queue those orders. So very handy. Okay, back to the camp. Good. Found a CPU core. That's great. Do I don't have anything for production yet. What do I need? I need wood for that, don't I? Yeah, I need wood. Yep, I got 3 guys that are unarmed. I get it. Let's go ahead and queue up some of these to get cut. I don't want to do the small drying rack. We'll go ahead and actually I want to wait for wood. Storage shelves obviously do what that sounds like and store things. Your stockpiles are, oh man, the stockpiles are kind of janky, at least in some of the playthroughs that I've done. More so on if you put the stockpiles down. Well, first off, like the stockpiles, you can only put them in a row, right? They can only be in a row. So they have to have, you see these little arrows? Those are like points where people can interact with them. And you have to have one of those, which means that you can only put a row of 2 stockpiles together, and then they can get at them from the sides, but you can't stack it more than 2 together, because then they don't have any access to the stockpile. So that's kind of weird. I don't know why they can't just walk over stuff, or I guess you don't want people stepping all over your supplies, but it is what it is. But more specifically, you could put these things down, the stockpiles down, and then if you want to move them later, you have to move all of the stuff out of them before you can delete them. And there's a button that says like empty and then deconstruct and everything like that. But I had the worst time trying to get my survivors to do that. Stuff just sat outside for days and days and days and days and days, and you can't there's a lot of things. Like I could click on Ken, I can tell him to go construct this. I can force him to do that, like you can in Rimworld. But for whatever reason, and developers, if you're listening, by chance, by a miracle, you're listening to my channel, please make it to where you can force someone to deconstruct the stuff, or let us be able to deconstruct it before moving it. Something. I had many supplies just go to waste. And I tried, and maybe it's just because I don't understand how maybe the priorities work, but like I tried setting people to number 1 on their construction, and that's the only thing, and delivering, there's a deliver, and I thought maybe that would make them haul the items over to the new stockpile, and I did have new stockpiles and stuff set up and ready to go. But they just let the stuff sit there, and you know, some of it was losing, I don't know, health, integrity, quality, whatever it's called, for sitting out in the elements. So please, if you could allow us to force haul stuff out of stockpiles or just deconstruct the stockpiles so that they'll go and do all that, that would be great. All right, I'm gonna speed the game up a little bit. I hit 4 instead of and this is a research screen we'll get to in a little bit. All right, so that's that. Can't make a campfire yet because I don't have hay. All right, so I need to, I'm gonna set up another couple shelters. We'll do it right there and right there. And I like how they connect together. That's super cool. We're gonna put some storage shelves in here. Beep, 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 beep. Storage shelves. All right, and then we'll be able to move some of our stuff. We won't be able to move the big construction stuff like stone and wood logs and everything, but we will be able to move some of the other stuff. And some of the stuff only needs to be under a roof, which is great. Insufficient storage space. Oh yeah, okay, that's fine. So like if you look at some of, and I'm trying to find an example, scrap metal obviously isn't, emergency rations, it will tell you it's outside and refrigerated. Does it only tell you when it's on a shelf? But there'll be like you can click on the stuff and there'll be like a little menu. It'll say like if it's outside, you know, it will degrade in, you know, 1,000 days or whatever it is. And then there's under roof, I think it is, and then like refrigerated and frozen, something like that. I'll show it to you. Oh, cloth blossom. All right, here we go. So this plant blooms in beautiful big flowers which go through a remarkable metamorphosis, forming fibrous white balls. I believe that they are very similar to cotton and can be used in the production of cloth. So cloth blossom seems like a fitting name. All right, so we've discovered say that 10 times fast, cloth blossoms, and it unlocks the harvesting of cloth, and we can plant cloth blossoms, which is great because we're gonna need that, especially for winter. Now, the cool thing here is just like in Rimworld, there's fertility, and it does it a little bit differently. You can see the little green here on the grid, and it says 100% growth. And then soil, this is sand, so it's 25% growth. So you can see where you would probably want to plant things. I've actually got a lot of good farming land. I wish that wasn't quite in the way, but it is what it is. So let's, I don't want to do it too far. And let's just start our farms over here. So we'll do, I think there's a max. I think it's 10 by 10 is the max you can do. I don't think I need that much. Sure, let's do an 8 by 8. Why not? Another thing about your farms is farms attract animals. So you need to come in here under defenses and put in fences and stuff like that. Otherwise, the animals will just sit there and eat your stuff. I mean, they don't even care at all. And then you got to hunt them and kill them and, you know, all this other stuff. So definitely want to fence off your farms. Insufficient storage space. 622. Oh, man, I got a lot of hay and stuff. All right, here we go. You know what? I have insufficient storage space because I didn't put any stockpiles down. All right. So we'll put a stockpile there, and then I'm gonna put another one, and I forgot to hold shift when I did that. I'll do another one right there. So 2 rows of stockpiles. Actually, no, I screwed that up. Let's do another one right 1 tile away, I think. And let me double check my math here. I do it that way. You know what? Let's be smart about this, Malones. I want them under these simply so that they are under roofed. And I didn't do that again. And we'll do something like that. And then we'll come in and do 4. Didn't hold shift. 4. All right, that'll work for now. All this stuff will get deconstructed and moved later once we can start building actual buildings. So it doesn't matter. Everything's temporary. Do scavenged. What is that? I don't know what that is. That is, oh, it's a CPU core is what it is. That'll be good for later on. All right, I don't have a lot of food variety. So sorry about that. You know, working on it. What is this thing? Look at that little guy. A bloated insect. Yeah. Looks like the queen bug or whatever off Starship Troopers. All right, I know those are squash-like plants. They're gonna give me like melons that I can use to feed my colonists. All right, these guys aren't doing anything right now. Well, I mean, they have anything that they can do, but they're just kind of chilling. But that's okay because usually they'll do stuff to try and keep them happy, stuff like that. Need to find, like I said, maybe it doesn't spawn until summer or spring, or no, we're in spring. But if I can't find these, that's gonna be bad. Silicon leaf. All right, so the pointy red plant has a bulky core with peculiar patterns which synthesizes an unlikely substance, silicon. I've never heard of such a plant before, so it might be unique to this world. I name it silicon leaf. So there's another one that we can plant that will give us silicon. Can reach physical 5, awesome. Still on the hunt for those plants. I mean, it literally looks like corn. Hey, is this it? Yes, this is it. Let's observe that. Far away is that? Fairly far. This is smoke leaf. Whenever you research it, I mean, it obviously does just like the Rimworld smoke leaf does. You can smoke it, make pipes, and smoke it. I'm not doing anything optimally, guys, so don't worry about that. All right. Chopping block gives you sticks, although sticks are relatively easy to come by. I've already got it. That's hay, but wood, maybe I don't have any sticks right now, but usually I have an abundance. We're gonna do a large drying rack because there's really no reason not to, I suppose. I still can't make a cook stove. What do I need for a cook stove? Sticks. Of course, I was just talking about sticks. And those, you can get sticks from these, which I haven't even observed yet. Wide leaf plant. Ken, are you done faffing about here? There you go. Chop down some trees, grab some sticks. We'll just put the cook stove right there for now. All this stuff will get moved. All right, so just like in Rimworld, this, you know, you can set up your bills. I'm gonna have him chop wood into sticks until we have 100, and then stop. So here, I just want you to make cloth scraps until you have 100, and then make bandages, scrap cloth until you have I don't know, 50. Okay, so we've discovered beef berries. This fragile looking berry plant is surprisingly tough and manages to stay upright under the weight of its heavy fruits. The berries themselves don't look very appetizing when small, but seem to become nice and juicy when ripe. I'll name them beef berries because they are somewhat similar to that vegetable that goes well on beef sandwiches, or at least so I've heard. All right, so now we can plant and harvest beef berries. And then the big broadleaf, it's just an ordinary bush that can be cut down for sticks. I didn't notice anything else of interest. So there you go. So that gives us another, we have a low food supply. You're not kidding. All right, another farm. Once again, big bushes. Let's get a beefberry farm going. And we'll do another 8x8 just to stay with the theme. Right? Yeah, you're my intellectual. Go in there and observe that. I think no, confused Krista's. I'm gonna put her at 2 on those. At 2 on that. I really need her cooking. Or researching. And she's about to have a meltdown. Why? Because you're not happy? Insufficient food variety, few fun things to do. That's true. I mean, that's fair. What is it under furniture? I can give you guys a shooting target. Although there's only one of you with a gun. Yeah, sure. Put it right there. For now. Let's see. Metal alloys or whatever. I need leathers for that. Yep. So you'll just have to wait. I mean, yeah, if you could just stick that out, and I mean, I need to get those planted, which means you need to observe them. So why don't you just go ahead and work yourself to breaking? Oh, aggressive animals. All right, well now don't break. All right, here we go. Buttermilon. This local vine plant gives large edible fruits which have a tough peel, and whatever. It reminds me of pumpkins and melons, so I will call it Buttermilon. Ripe buttermelons can be harvested and cooked. They might have some other good uses too. So now we can harvest and plant buttermelons, which I'm gonna do right now. We also have some aggressive animals, which that's another thing that they do a little bit differently from Rimworld. Is they, well, in this game, these kind of let you know, like, these animals are aggressive, so be aware. But they've also, it's kind of like when you have like a raid in Rimworld and they say, oh, they're going to prepare for a while. This is kind of like what that's telling you, and you kind of have to pay attention because there's no sounds or anything. And developers, if you're listening, when this stuff happens, like you get aggressive animals and then they turn into attacking, if you can get some sort of audio cue that will grab your attention, because kind of doesn't do that right now. And I've had my head down, looking in, menus and stuff like this, and this has popped up, and I didn't notice, just because there's nothing there that kind of just like grabs your attention to say like, hey, you need to address this. But anyways, when this turns into attacking animals, then these guys will start wandering towards your base and start doing exactly that, attacking you. So you have to pay attention. I got 2 guys that are at a risk for a meltdown, and I can't blame them. But we got to do what we got to do to get this place up and running. So I need a research desk. You're gonna put the research desk right next to the cook stove so that you could smell the food cooking. Okay, I don't have anything to harvest yet. The good thing is whenever these things, oh, they must be attacking something and getting killed. Isn't it like you can't chop off the trees, the top of the trees? If that's possible, devs, that would be great, because it's dang near impossible. All right, so here it says animal attack. Now is when they're coming. You can see them wandering up. and these things are really weak. Anyways, I mean, Ken's not going to be able to kill them all. There will be a little bit of hand-to-hand, but that's okay. Shouldn't be too much of an issue. Bow, done. Undrafted. All right, Quinn was injured just a little bit, superficial bite to his right leg. So now we will take these things, and I'm gonna have one observe, and then I'm gonna take all the rest, and I'm gonna butcher them. So this guy shouldn't be, yeah, okay, cool. We can observe him, and then it'll just tell us more about him. Hit 4. Quinn, you're okay. I think Ken, you're like our highest medic, right? Healing 3. Yeah, okay, well, that's fine. The other thing about, like, whenever people get injured, if it's your medic, they will literally just like run into a bed and just wait there. And there's a little button that says don't go like lay down and just wait. But that you can click that on your medics and everything when they get injured, but they don't, at least it's been my experience, that they don't just automatically like go and heal themselves. You have to manually force them to do that. And maybe I just haven't figured out the proper way to do it or whatever, but I wish there was some sort of like in Rimworld, more comparisons, right? There's the button to allow the person to heal themselves, and that would be a great addition. Can we make anything yet? All right, meat soup, yes. Let's do it until we have, I don't know, 40. That's a good arbitrary number. That's because we've butchered some of these guys, got some meat out of it. This is another thing that's super annoying. This will pop up several times, and it's always the same thing, 5 stars, 5 star, and you submit it once and it'll keep popping up. So developers, please stop harassing us with this. Like, allow us to let you know how you're doing, and maybe even like maybe a link to a website where we could type in some stuff. But once we send this feedback, I don't need to do it 1,000 times when I'm playing. All right, so can you just stop having it do that? That would be great. Research. All right, so chitin synthetic. So let's do that. We'll do that. Sleep training. Wow, that's crazy. That, and then that for now. We'll do tailoring and spaceship deconstruction soon after. Oh, research. Oh, it hasn't been built yet. I was like, what do you mean? All right. So the cool things, these little thunderstorms, especially like lightning, will come down, and I've had one of my colonists get zapped with lightning, and it knocks them on their butt, and they're out for a while. It's kind of hilarious. But you can build lightning rods, and then you can have those lightning rods feed into like your batteries and your power. So that's cool. Veggie broth, we'll do 40. Just why not? Discovery of a Scarab Bug I observed looks like an overgrown version of the pest that's known and hated on many worlds. Giving it the common bug's name felt a bit underwhelming, so I chose the nice sounding Scarab. Hope I'm saying that right, but that's how I'm saying it, so it's whatever. Unfortunately, it's a lot more annoying than some tiny insects that scuttles through your fridge. This one is big and impudent enough to attack humans and do some damage. The main problem is that these insects tend to swarm and work together in large groups, so they should not be underestimated. Yep, they even look like those annoying bugs. Laura's at risk for a meltdown. Is she? Oh crap! Total war crime. Where is it? I forgot to put down the table. for them to eat at. How dare I? Furniture, chairs, wooden chairs. 3 and 4. New resource, veggie soup. All right, we made our first veggie soup. I like it. All right, we discovered smoke leaf. The wide leaves of this plant are remarkably similar to a rare and expensive type of tobacco. It actually got banned on my homeworld a few years ago, and its price shot up even higher. Don't ask me how I know this. Anyway, if I'm correct, those smoke leaf plants contain several alkaloid stimulants which can be drawn out by drying the leaves. Grind them, stick them in a pipe, and you got a great mood booster. No hangovers or other side effects that I know of. All right, so now we can grow and harvest smoke leaf. We can put them in the drying rack to create dried smoke leaf, and then we can, at the crafting bench, we can make smoke leaf pipes, and then we can also boil them to make tea. So awesome. I've already got the drying rack set up. I'm going to go ahead and let's see, be fair. Yeah, we'll go ahead and do like maybe a small field, like 8 by 4 or 5, 8 by 5. That's fine. All right, so food situation's doing all right. We got 5 of each meals. We still have 26 emergency rations, so we're okay. Bandages. We could definitely use more. See, now your researchers, what I've noticed, they always prioritize observing things over like researching at the table. If I wanted her to research at the table, I'd have to force her to do that, and then she would do it for a while, and then anything that interrupted her researching that would then automatically take her back over to observing. Wow, she's going far. But we gotta have these. We gotta have that grain. Okay, so blade grass. I took a sample of the blade grass while observing it. Growing and harvesting it won't be too hard as long as one's careful with the razor sharp edges of the grass. Talk about a fitting name. And now I can plant blade grass and harvest it for hay. I'm not going to do that right now because there's still plenty. I'm not going to put a farm, that is. This next stuff that she is going to now, what is it called? Corn leaf, something like that. Corn grass. Anyways, it produces, of course. You know what? No. Don't do that. Just observe it. That's like a long way to walk. Anyways, it produces grain, and grain is very useful. Grain is used in making antibiotics, which, does antibiotic things. And then it can be made into bread and foods. It's an ingredient in fooding, Jesus. In cooking. I swear, words. I can words sometimes. Apparently not today. And sorry, Krista, I'm gonna abuse you again, but that is way far away just to be messing around. So get that observed, and then we'll get you back. And if you're like me, and you hate having those notification like stars or whatever, because you can't not look at them, you can just hover over them, and then hover over them for a couple seconds, and then they'll go away. All right, that's about done. Grain cob, that's what it's called. I was close. Corn grain cob. Krista's starving, but that's okay. A good discovery. The seeds of the tall leafy plant cluster together in a cob and seem edible. I can't even read. I don't even know why I bother. Thus, I'm going to call it grain cob. It will be useful in many ways. Cooked, pressed into oil, distilled into sweet syrup or moonshine, even used in the production of antibiotics. Such a simple thing, yet so vital for survival. So now we can plant grain cob, which is exactly what I'm going to do. And I'm gonna do 8 by 8 because that's good. And these guys are going to make me angry. Should I do a stone? I mean, I do like the look of the stone. So we're gonna go like that. And then This will probably need to get expanded. All right. And then we're gonna put in a fenced door. I don't know. That's fine. Whatever. I'm doing it. Is it red? Oh, because he already built over there. All right, cool. That'll give us a nice big farm plot. We got some more room over here, a little bit more room over here. We'll expand it as necessary. All right. Who was that? Oh, was that Krista? Krista was finally researching. What are we doing? Oh yeah, she's almost done with weaponsmithing, which is great. Animal fat, smoke leaf pipe. Okay. Everything's looking good. Food levels are going up. All right, there's weaponsmithing. Craft weapons. Do it 4 times. And then I also need 3 short bows. And what are you doing, my man? You are crafting. Love it. Love to see it. Quinn's constructing the fence. Krista's taking a walk. All right. We are doing work. Gonna need to expand our storage a little bit. I fear soon. Get on that. Okay. We're gonna have enough stone? Probably not. I never have enough stone. I like to build once we get the construction, I like to build my houses out of stone, which is great. What is this? What happened? You guys bleeding? Oh man, that dude died. Well, no sense in letting it go to waste. Did you kill him? Did you guys get in a fight? I mean, be that as it may, you know, here's some tall grass. Observe that. Okay, so we've been going for about over an hour. I'm probably going to cut a little bit of this in post, but I'm going to go ahead and put a cut in here. And I want to thank you for joining me for playing a little bit of Stranded Alien Dawn. If you could, please give me a like and a subscribe, throw a comment down, let me know what I did wrong, or you know, if you have any questions, everything like that. Check down in the description. You can join us in Discord and hang out with us, talk to us, and you know, everything like that. And I will also put a link in the description if you want to check out the game. You know, this is not affiliated anyway. It's just if you like the game and you want to check it out, I'll go ahead and stuff a link down there so you can check it out yourself. Anyways, I've been Malone, so you guys have been great, and I'll catch you later.